Welcome back to Shifted Reality, Season 2, Episode 18. Well, shortly after Bias murdered me for no good reason, it looks like he's up to more of his HOA shenanigans. I mean, take a look at this. HOA violation, decaying fish on the deck. HOA violation, faulty permit, fine of 50 diamonds per day. No. HOA violation, faulty permit, fine 50 diamonds a day. No, this is a perfectly valid permit. I can do what I want. God damn. Jeez. Editor Minovate here, and because I'm a professional, I met with Philly to discuss the nature of the shopping district, and due to a technical error, did not record any of our conversation. However, I did show him the HOA violations on my property, showed him my permit, and he agrees it is a completely valid permit. Or just to clarify, it is a completely valid permit under the rules and regulations of the Shop Owners Association, because the HOA, as he agreed, has no authority over shops because they are not homes. And the discussion comes down to, we agree that shops should be free, people should be free to regulate and sell their own products at the prices that they want. Either people buy them or people don't. So we are going to make some clarifications, again, about the lack of authority that the HOA has, such as this. They're trying to fine Wasai for having his shop too close to the entrance of the HSA building when Wasai's shop was there first. This is not acceptable. You can't retroactively change things. You can't retroactively enforce power. Similar, he also explained to me what these banners were finally. The phoenix that cannot be kept down will always keep rising back up is the Shop Owners Association's spirit animal or whatever. So that's what that is just saying, hey, you cannot force us down with your tyrannical rule. So we have a little bit of a discussion over how we are going to enforce this and switch this to the correct language that should be used. So we start putting up clarifications that this is a shop, so therefore it's under the Shop Owners Association's authority. And we check out Philly's Dye Shop to see if there's anything new there. And again, further threats of destruction, which is not only a violation of the shopping district, it is a violation of the server rules. So like we did at my shop, we turned their violations and their threats into a reminder that a homeowners association has no authority over non-homes. And then I get ambushed, probably by thugs hired by the HOA, but I'm able to handle them easy enough. Only for me to survive the initial ambush, but get caught off guard by a suicide bomber. And let's not forget that I also put on the explanation on my base shops as well, that shops are not regulated by the Homeowners Association. Shops are regulated by the Shop Owners Association. Okay, if this is an attack by the HOA, this is like the laziest attack ever. My permit was in one of my barrels of saddles, and a whole bunch of gates were flipped open, and the doors were all left open. I mean, it's really nothing here. But I came out here for this because I lost my bow again. I'm not sure if it's the last time I died or the time I died before that. But I was just recovering a bunch of my stuff and realized I didn't have any bows on me. So since I'm out of infinity bows, I'm going to have to switch to a mending bow. Let's put our permit back. Doors closed. Let's see if anything else has sold. Well, it looks like Bai has finally noticed that we had spoofed his HOA signs, but rather than changing them back, he's just deleted them. That's funny. Any sales? Oh, there we go. At least we're getting sales again. What about our enchanting room? Ah, yeah, there we go. That's the money spot. Just 6 stacks of emeralds. Oof. That's going to take a while to trade for. Well, we still have a ways to go before we complete the first level of our village rebuild. Obviously, we have quite a bit of mobs still spawning because we have a large number of dark areas here. And the idea is once we complete all the infrastructure building of the first level, we shouldn't have any dark areas left for mobs to spawn. And it'll just become naturally safer as we build more. But we're getting spots over here yet. I need to put something in that space. And most importantly, we need to complete our design and build of the bridge that my daughter really wants. And because we want to keep it looking like this river is navigatable by large ships, well, we need to put in a moving bridge, which means we need slime. And so that's probably why I'm not going to get to anything super creative today, because unfortunately no one on the server has a slime farm. I asked around and simply no one's made one yet. So I looked up and identified the slime chunks in my area and determined that the best place for slime chunks was over in my industrial area, literally right on top of our clay farm. So we've been spending all week cleaning this out, but since real life gets in the way, this is not my job. This is just a fun hobby. And game time, I've only been able to work on this in short increments, which isn't even enough to get a decent time lapse out of the building. This is just drudgery digging, and unfortunately nothing really interesting happened with that. So I apologize for anyone who tuned in today looking for a creative outlet or advice on how I go about my creative process. That's not going to be today's episode. But, you know what? I think it's time we do a final call on the HOA building. What do you think? We will put an end to them once and for all. That's right, we're going to do away with the HOA building. I mean, after all, they've done such egregious crimes as leaving signs and criticizing the shopping district. There's only one response to make if someone is criticizing your shopping district, right? Right? But you may want to turn away from this next part. It's time to finally say goodbye to the HOA. Yeah, it's a thing of beauty, isn't it? That's a perfectly reasonable response to some minor annoyances and inconveniences of the HOA, right? Right? Am I the villain here? Okay, if that was not obvious to anybody, I mean, there's several clues, such as the days played randomly rolled back. This was just a artificially created on a downloaded copy of the server set into creative mode. I would not actually do that to someone else's build. However, as you can see behind me, someone unfortunately did. You see, I set up these fake HOA violations on an HOA member, and I wanted this to look like they were actual bias HOA violations, but not, obviously he didn't do it, but I was hoping he would have a little bit of a HOA versus HOA conflict. Unfortunately, the response to the placing of signs by me caused that particular person to strike out and bomb the HOA office with TNT in multiple places, doing massive amounts of destruction, setting back a ton of work that Bias had done. It's just, this is too much. It's too far. You don't retaliate to a prank involving signs by destroying somebody else's hard work. A sign is a sign. You can chop it down, you can put it back someplace else, you can set your own. You could have easily taken those signs and put them up as protests and declare yourself anti-HOA and make them lose a member or something, which is kind of what I was hoping would happen, not this. So Bias, I apologize for this, and we are going to figure out some way of making amends for this, because this was just a little too much. Again, we are not an anarchy server. We don't script these things out as to how this conflict all started, but all we've been doing is pranking each other, changing the signs so that, in protest, putting up protest signs against it. Next time it will be worse. I mean, yeah, this is too much. If you're on an anarchy server, yeah, sure, whatever, anarchy, anything goes. But when you're trying to play with friends and just have fun, the whole HOA thing was just harmless pranks, and there are ways he could have easily retaliated. I mean, he could have even escalated if he wanted to. That didn't involve exploding massive portions of the build. I don't know. I can't really express how much I feel bad about this. Okay, with some creative magic, Bias has been able to fully restore his build to where it was and to his last recording. It's not a solution we would normally want to go with, but given the severity of the action and the fact that it is a major offense against the server rules, we allow that to stand, and, well, we're going to move on. You gotta be kidding me. Did Bias leave that there for me? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, shit, how do I get down there to get my stuff before it despawns? Okay, so I ran back and fetched myself a water bucket. Would Bias trap his own base to prank me? And I think the answer is a definite resounding yes. I did it again. I'm so bad at this. Like, seriously, the only way I would have fallen for that if I came in through the roof. Don't die, 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 don't die. At least I got my stuff and reset the timer. In theory, I didn't actually look to see if it was all there, but I assume it's all there. It doesn't look like there was any place for it to spread. Come on, can you get it? Is it possible? It's not possible. Alright, I gotta deload these chunks and go get a different solution. Okay, fortunately I have collected all the scoots I need in order to make a new turtle hat. I just haven't gotten around to doing that yet. No one else is on the server, so my stuff should be safe in the shopping district. But I think the extra 5 seconds of water breathing is going to be enough to allow me to get the stuff. Okay, I think I can make it this time. I think I can make it. I think I can make it. Oh, taking damage. Taking damage. But I can make it. Has to be close, right? I'm like right there. Right there. Right there. Oh, the turtle hat didn't even work. Alright, go try something else. Okay, so if the turtle hat didn't work, the only option I have left is to go water breathing. And I know this is going to be more than enough time to pick everything up. Even let me check what I make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh man, I hope I'm not missing anything. I shouldn't, but you know, you never really know with this game. And fortunately, every single time I die, the timer on my stuff despawning resets, so we should be good. Okay, this time it's going to work for sure. Okay, I didn't lose anything that I care about, so there's that. Obviously, things I don't care about, I don't know if I actually lost them or not, because I wasn't made into what I had. But I also still need to be able to get out of this hole. You know, all I was doing was innocently looking at his base and talking about how it's all back to normal and restored without needing to do a server reset. And I get murdered again. This is a murder house, not an HOA. Ugh. I need to go home and think about how I'm going to get revenge for this one. At least I have my turtle again. I told him what books I need, and he still has not provided them. So we are going to head home and put the turtle away before he can get hurt until the proper enchantments are available to us. Okay, well, we did take a retaliation strike for getting murdered again in this episode. I mean, the guy could have at least had the decency to put a hopper and a chest in the bottom of that hole, just so that anyone who falls down it, their stuff would get collected and be safe. But no. I'm sitting here panicking that all my stuff is going to go away. Again. And I had no way to get down there because my wings were down there. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I'm going to sign off. I did do a retaliatory strike, but I did not put it on camera because I know Bias watches these videos, and I don't want to tip him off that it's there before he has a chance to experience it. And this episode is going to go live tomorrow, probably easily before he has a chance to play again. So we'll see if he falls for it in his next video. And things are starting to heat up in the shopping district. Murder, it seems to be the recipe, but I'm not very good at PvP. I'm not. So I gotta resort to other means. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Tune in next week for another episode of Shifted Reality. And if you've watched this far, I do hope you like, subscribe, comment. All the things help me to just keep building and moving along. And let me know what you think of today's episode without any creative building, just lore and discussions over difficulties dealing with a friendly SMP. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.